live. Cool. And I will go over here, make a tweet about it. Come on, Twitter. There we go. Oh, I can't type. Okay. Do I have a picture for this? Surely I do. Where did I save those? Oh no. Where did I put them?
I shouldn't laugh, but I know that. Oh no. Oh no!
Oh no. Where the hell did I save these photos? Oh. I could put them in like documents for some reason. How does the alphabet work? There it is. All right. Do that. Do that. And bam. Tweet. All right. There we go. Now we can start.
Proud of you.
So, if you recall, last week, you guys, I believe it was the Silver Armadillo was the name of the pawn shop, or the antique store. Because when I was writing this, I could only remember the name of the Copper Possum, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the antique store. But you guys went to the Silver Armadillo, and you were investigating a lead. You met an old man who said some old man things before being interrupted by another strange armored individual, this time with a spear. You kicked his butt pretty thoroughly, and then you left his unconscious body on the street and started to run back to your hotel in order to get the heck out of Dodge. So, I think it would be nice to start there as you get back to the hotel. You've run the. It was only like a couple blocks actually. I think it wasn't that far.
Small town, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very small. Yeah,
I mean, it was enough time for me to eat my meatball sub.
from McDonald's, of course. Did you know there was a McDonald's for a long time that had spaghetti? So it's not that outrageous.
No. Yeah, it's just somebody never updated the menu from like 1992.
Exactly.
They somehow kept getting stock. That checks out. I believe that.
Yeah.
By the way, I have to say this because it popped into my head because we drove by it yesterday, Cameron. I'm very disgusted with your hometown.
Oh, thank you. So,
You're welcome.
so am I.
I'm 95% sure we were driving through it yesterday, and we drove by and stopped at a Casey's, which was okay, but it was right across the street from. It was a Casey's. They all look the same size to me.
Yeah.
But it was right across the street from a Pizza Hut, and the Pizza Hut had renamed itself Italian Cuisine.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm disappointed that Pizza Hut
Yeah.
called itself Italian Cuisine. Sorry, completely random off topic, and I am genuinely sorry.
No, you're fine, because I decided to look up McDonald's meatball sub and found something infinitely worse. Apparently in China there is a new burger that is Spam, Oreo-style cookies, and mayo.
Like somebody dug through their pantry in a dorm.
Yeah.
Just like, I guess this is all the food groups.
I'm even gonna send it to you all just so that I'm not the only person who saw this first image.
Is it on mash.com?
No, this one's from Business Insider.
Oh God.
No.
CNN. Has it? Oh my god, it's real. Why is this a thing? I'm sorry. We're supposed to be playing a game, but
yeah, it looks like shit on a shingle is what it looks like.
it does look like shit on the
Water treatment at its best.
God. So, Steve, I'm gonna make sure that I got this right because I tried to write it down last week because I forgot to the week before. Or last month.
Last
So
time
we
on
have
GodPunk, yes.
in our inventory,
Mm.
we've got from the, I think this is from the bull guy,
Yes.
a card with a number on it, with a string of numbers on it that we
Yes.
don't know what they go to. It's not a phone number. But I think
No.
that's all we know about it. We got a burner phone from the most recent guy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
A punch card for Subway.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And a shiny silver sword that the spear guy was trying to take from the old man in his antique shop. And
Cameron, and the most important item.
Well,
okay, second most important item. Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah. Ricky Mouse. You took the cursed Ricky Mouse doll.
Excuse me.
I forgot about
more
that.
Damage than any of us. So.
it almost did.
I
think M did more damage technically than Ricky Mouse,
okay,
but it did do more damage than the rest of you in that fight.
I'll take that.
Oh man, that's gonna be the most powerful artifact by the end of this. This was connected to just God. Period. Capital G. All right. Yeah. So
we're just hanging out at the motel thing.
Yeah, the motel. I said hotel. It's a motel. I'm not gonna give it any more credit than it deserves. You're in a motel.
Fair enough.
It does not deserve the title of hotel.
What our meager budget of pilfered goods from defeated enemies gets us. Can we try to do a research or investigate on the card with the numbers and try to see if it's like an IP address or coordinates?
Sure, yeah.
Guess I should roll a skill for that.
Yes, you should. Presumably, what was it?
Academics?
Would it be academics or skill?
I believe it would be academics in this case.
2d6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
6. Okay. Yeah, as you Google this string of numbers, I will say you notice it's too short to be an IP address. Coordinates maybe, there's enough there for that. Certainly not a phone number, you think. When you look it up though, as every time you try and Google any set of numbers, all you get is a list of like white pages, but not any full numbers. It's just like, what is in this area code and starts with 238, and you're like, this is not helpful. I'm trying to see if like a robot is calling me or a real person. It's that feeling and that experience, but it's clearly not a phone number, or at least not long enough to be like oh no, this is too short.
IP address.
No.
Down. Okay, so I guess so it could maybe be coordinates. I don't know what else it could be.
What if it's what if the letters or the numbers are letters?
Ooh.
That's the one. Ooh, what if the numbers
like
are letters?
Yes. Cipher?
Yes.
So we have to find another card. Something else with the.
You have to find a decoder ring.
Yeah.
Open the right box of cereal. Good luck.
I'm just, guys, I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe
No,
the
that's
numbers are
that's
better.
good. Good.
I mean, it's not right, but it's good.
You couldn't be more off base, but it was a good idea.
Do either of you guys have a charger? Can you think of a way to? We've got this burner phone that's it's dead, battery's dead, but we've got.
Is
And we
it
could
an
try to figure
iPair
out
or
if
is
we
this
can charge it.
a cyborg?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of phone it is. I guess that would be if one of you guys want to investigate more about the burner phone.
I mean, you can just ask. You can
just
look
ask.
at the phone and
Okay.
it is clear that it's a burner phone because it's like almost old. It's not a flip phone. It's one of the old like more Nokia style, just number pad and small screen. Even has a little antenna thing sticking out of it. It's not a smartphone. It was clear that this was like you make calls on this, you might receive a beeper style message. That's it.
Does that have any contacts in it?
Well, there's no battery in it, so
Oh right. God damn.
yeah. There could be. I mean,
is there no battery in it, or is it just needs charging?
no, there's no battery in it.
Okay, so it's like dead. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll find a battery, or does it have a SIM card or a memory card or anything in it?
No. It
Okay.
Well, yes. Yes, it does, actually.
Has a SIM
Yeah, no,
card
it
in
would. Yeah.
Okay. Can one of us jack the SIM card out, try to put it in our phone? See if there's anything on it, like a contact list or previous calls. I don't even know if that would show up on a SIM card. I know contacts might, but
Let me Google how SIM cards work.
I'm trying to think. I haven't like swapped SIM cards in a phone in like 3-4
Yeah.
years. So I'm trying to remember what.
Well, the other problem is. Sorry, this is just thinking broadly out of character. Sorry. But with SIM cards, I don't know if any of the three of our characters would have a phone that's compatible with a touch, like an old style SIM card. I mean, we could.
True. I assume we all have modern cell phones, smartphones. Well, it was worth a shot. The only other thing we can do while we're sitting around is we've got this shiny silver sword we can try to figure out some info about. We can investigate that, see if there's, I don't know if there's any encryptions on it, or if we can try to, sort out where it's from, culturally at least, and maybe try to figure out where it needs to go. Because even if it was returned to the antique store, I don't know how ethical it is to have a cultural artifact of this significance that may or may not be mystical sitting in an antique shop somewhere. So, if somebody want to roll for, I don't know, investigation or academics and see if we can suss out any information on it.
We'll do this. I got 10 total.
Ooh, that's very good. All right. That's like a big success. So, okay. Obviously the sword did I say what type of sword it was last time? I had it in my head. I don't think I
You said it was silver and it had a sheath.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking more like so in still a sheath, but like a cavalier style sword.
Okay.
I said that word right? Yeah. Yeah, like
cavalry.
Cavalry. Yeah. A cavalry sword is actually what it's called. Cavalry sword.
Like a saber.
Yes.
There goes what I wanted to do with the sword.
Sorry. Obviously You can't tell exactly when it's from, but you probably guess this specific one is maybe Civil War era-ish, like around 1800s to 1900, but clearly older than 1900, but not ancient by any means. It doesn't really have any special inscriptions on it that you can see or notice. It seems to just be a. It looks like a normal sword from that era, but when you hold it, you can feel something different about it.
Interesting.
Well, that narrows it down a little bit. Well, what do you guys think we should do next? Should we try to go somewhere and I don't know, we could try to find like an early American museum. We're out in the Pennsylvania area still, so we could try to head like southeast down towards the coast, head towards like Williamsburg or something like that,
Can we just
and
Google to see if
investigate
there's-
the sword.
Can we just Google to see if there's a museum nearby that would be like Civil War era?
Yeah.
Sure, Google does exist.
I Google Civil War era museum.
All right.
I need to roll a 2D.
No, I think that we can just literally Google Civil War museums right now, and we'll see where some are. Not near me though. Let's do specifically Pennsylvania, because ones in Texas are not going to help you all right.
Probably not.
There's the National Civil War Museum in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Literally, I think it's gonna be our best shot.
Let's look at the map. Now zoom out way a bunch, because I don't know where Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is specifically. Okay, it's like almost southeast.
Cameron.
Yeah. Started. It's a little northwest from Philly.
That means that we can get a
Yeah.
cheesesteak if we get hungry.
Exactly.
You guys head
So-
that way?
So, is that your idea?
Yes.
I think so. I'd be on par with that if everybody else is up for that, jumping in the Jeep and heading to Harrisburg.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, and it's next to a
Cool.
Costco. Ooh, we can do some shopping for snacks.
Ooh. All right. So, as you all start gathering your supplies to get out of town, you pack your stuff and start putting it into the back of your Jeep. Surprise, surprise! The old man from the Silver Armadillo runs up to you all, out of breath from having to walk the 2 blocks that it took to get to the motel. I think I did a voice for him. I think it was something like that, right? I don't know. Well, this is what he sounds like now. And he says, "Oh, thank goodness I caught you all before you left. Obviously you're welcome to keep the sword. Clearly it's in better hands with you all than it is with me, but actually I wanted to tell you all about, oh, what was it? This is in real time. This is how long it's taking the man to think. Yeah, I'm getting really into character. This is what. Oh yes. I heard tell from the deicides that there was actually another godling nearby here. I think he lives just a little bit to the east, and they were pretty worried about him, but then the people kept going and asking him, and he said he just wanted to retire. But I think it might be worth you all going to check on him, see if maybe he might even help you, or just with all these new strange godlings who are clearly after things for the wrong reasons. They may even go after him. So, it's up to you all, though. I mean, those are the noise he makes. He might be having a stroke. He seems okay, but the sounds are like...
Yeah, a little gurgly.
See, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, sir. You said he's out east somewhere. Is he like just east of town, or is he further away, or is he by any chance near Harrisburg or past further away?
So I would say where I was thinking you all right now is about halfway between like Pittsburgh and Harrisburg. So Harrisburg would be to your east. Wait, did I say east? I meant that he was to the west.
Oh, okay.
So your choices they're in opposite directions. He's a few towns over, so he'd be closer to like Pittsburgh right now, but not like so close to Pittsburgh that you're in Pittsburgh. He's trying to retire, so he's probably not in a big city. You can assume. And for the sake of the viewers, I did not want to give that information to you in the voice again, because...
It would have taken 6 hours.
Yeah, it would have taken 18 more hours. I mean, 6 hours is 6 hours.
Well, so I guess our option, we can investigate the sword a little bit further. Obviously, people are trying to track it down for what can't be a good reason. I don't know if the museum's going to be able to tell us anything more. They might be able to tell us more about the sword, but I don't know if they'd be able to tell us anything more about, if it's a mystic artifact that's attached to a god or anything. I don't know if we might be a little happenstance if somebody there could know, but this guy might. I mean, I don't know. We've not exactly met a lot of random godlinks that are friendly. So I guess if he's like out in the middle of nowhere and he's retiring, maybe he's fine. But that's kind of a toss up. If he's older and retired, maybe we won't have a fight out on our hands. But
or he's like those old masters in movies who can kill us all.
Yeah. I guess that's the toss up.
Knows. I know. The answer is me. I know what he is. But,
Well, I'd be okay with heading west towards the old man if you guys think that it's going to be a worthwhile trip to go talk to somebody who's hopefully already gone through some of the shit we're dealing with, or maybe can point us in a direction. I guess that's kind of, he's probably going to have some of the bigger answers for the bigger questions we've had, maybe, or we'll figure it out somewhere around there. Or we can get more specific answers on this sword from the museum. What are you guys thinking?
Let's go fight old people.
Fighting old people is good. Keep an eye out for some, I don't know, war reenactors. You might just know their stuff and have some. I don't know, something along those lines.
I wonder if there's a museum along the way to talk to this old guy. What's his name? We didn't get his name from the other guy. We should probably get his name. I don't know if fighting the guy without knowing his name. That's just rude.
Yeah. Is the old man still over here?
yes.
The
That was me doing. He's just staring at the ground, and you're like, is he dead now?
Sir, if you got a second,
yes. Well.
I think we might go check out that the gentleman that you were talking about.
Fabulous! That sounds amazing.
Do you know his name?
Nope.
No.
Nope. He's quick on the draw to respond, but never on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an address or I mean.
Yes, I do. Yes.
I
do. Yes. So he does have have the address.
So you
but
where he lives, but not his name. Okay. All right.
Well,
all right, weird old guy.
He explains that the whole network of everybody is they
Fairly
wanted
harmless.
to respect him and his privacy, but they also need to know where he is. So they're just kind of saying like, there's something big here, so just be aware. But they don't want everyone in the Deicide and Godlink knowing network to just go harass this guy all the time. You know.
Fair. I completely respect wanting to be left alone in peace and solitude, but still have people keeping tabs on you. I guess that's that's totally respectable. So, well, I think we're gonna head that way and see what we can find out about or from the individual that is out here. So, thank you so much, sir, for your for all your help. I'm sorry about your antique shop.
Oh, it's fine. It'll be back tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Okay. I'll trust you on that one. You've got the contacts and connections that we clearly do not. So if you say it's all good, then it's all good. We won't bug you about it anymore. If we find anything out about the sword that's interesting, we'll try to let you know and keep you up to date on that stuff.
Okay. Sure, sounds great. Thank you. Anyways, I'm gonna go get one of those amazing meatball subs from the McDonald's next door, and then spend my day at the Copper Possum. Almost cursed old man.
Wash your hands a couple different times, but have a good
80-year-old man getting a McDonald's meatball sub before hitting up the Gentleman's Club. God, what have I created?
You've created the greatest world known to man.
Yeah.
Magnus is life inspiration now.
Okay, I guess we're gonna go get meatball subs and go to the Copper Possum.
Magnus has changed his mind. This is his new plan for the day. The session is gonna just be in the Copper Possum.
We're gonna go to the Copper Possum, boys and girls. We're gonna eat meatball subs. And then go to Subway. And not buy their tuna sandwiches, because those are disgusting. Those are disgusting, to be truthful.
Didn't they have to admit that wasn't real tuna at one point?
They also had to admit that the foot long was only 11 inches. Trust issues.
My God.
Did you never hear
people lying about their size? I could never. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna jump in the Jeep and head that direction.
Yes. Did you all want to spend some Jeep time to chat and talk, or do you just want to be there?
Well, I think that we should definitely hide the sword, maybe somewhere in the trunk or under the seats or something, and just kind of not have it on our person if we can.
Yeah, we should.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
We should shove that under a seat or somewhere. Probably the mouse thing too, I guess, because that's
Ricky Mouse gets put on the dashboard.
Okay, I was gonna say,
oh no!
On the dash, is it the new mascot for the trip?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's
Ricky
cool.
Mouse is an important member of our team.
I'm gonna say, if you put that Ricky Mouse on the dashboard, nobody's gonna be looking through your car for swords. I'll tell you that much. They're gonna be too scared to walk up to it.
It's a good deterrent. So I'm all right with that. Yeah, do you guys think that we're gonna? Do you think this is like some old hermit living out in the forest that's just got some information that is important, or the old man seemed to think that he might be a godlink, but I feel like there'd be more, I don't know, information out there if he was in any way connected to this like we are. But I don't know.
Potentially.
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm excited to see somebody that's. It's weird to think that he might be more normal than the people we've been encountering so far. I'm sure I'm wrong.
Not saying much. We've only encountered one other person.
Well, Yeah, I guess your family, if we want to call them normal. No,
If we want to. I thought you were gonna say if we want to call them people. So cruel.
I mean, what are you talking about? Nothing happened at my family house. I mean, the
Right.
wall exploded and people got shot, but it's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just a Sunday. God.
That's a Sunday afternoon. Come on, it was relaxing.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, why did you send this? Why did you make me look at that? Oh God. Okay.
That's what I picture the head looks like, by the way.
Yeah. That is pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much how it looks. Oh, that was terrifying. God.
You said those are just like 2 pounds over, right? So we're like, we're just kind of chugging along.
Yeah.
Magnus the Jeep has held up great for all of this absolute horseshit that we've been through. I just want to commend your vehicle for.
Yeah, old Bessie over here. My white and black Jeep that I lose sometimes. Kind of weird.
You thought you had trouble finding your car in a parking lot.
I guess we all forget our cars when we park it sometimes, but that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to find an invisible car? Come on.
It's impossible.
Oh my God.
It just can't be done. But, I'm really glad that we're having this time together. Good to know that I'm kind of a coyote or a werewolf, a were-coyote. I'm a were-otie. Were-otie. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm a were-otie. You're a were-bug. And Emily is a beautiful flying flock of birds.
Bird lady, yeah.
Bird lady. But yes, you're a were-bug. Ooh. A bugbear.
Bugbear. That's good.
You're a bugbear. But no, I think we're finding out some really cool stuff. And you know what? The more that I think about it, the more this kind of ties into other myths. Like, when you're sitting there, like, so if you you start talking about all these other myths in the past, like, gods always end up choosing a hero for them, like a champion. And it's kind of interesting how those myths are starting to line up with what's going on right now, right? You were chosen by a bug dude. I was chosen by... I'm not quite sure. He kind of seemed like a dick. And Emily, we still haven't figured out who yours is. Did you get to talk to your god? Like, what did your god say?
I don't know. Did I get to talk to my god? There was the little old lady who I, had that interaction with by the park bench, and she was getting hassled by some teens. That seemed like, gods are shapeshifters and stuff from what we know, so she could have been taking the form of like an old lady. That could have werewolf in her. I don't think I actually talked to the lady herself.
Did you notice anything weird about her? Because, sometimes when you, a lot of the gods had very similar disguises, and so maybe we can dive into what she looked like. We can figure out, which goddess she is, because it seems like we're going Greek right now, guys. So maybe she's a Greek goddess.
There's a lot of coyotes in Greek.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my God, that means that we're dealing with... Guys, we're dealing with multiple pantheons of gods right now.
Yeah, if we're gonna accept the obvious that at least the Greek or Greco-Roman pantheons are, at least some of them are around. I don't know. Tithonus isn't exactly a one of the 12 Olympians, so maybe it's some of the more obscure gods that are still around. I don't know. It's definitely it's a weird mix of what we're encountering and what we're seeing and why are these specific gods from their pantheons or from in general popping up and why are they picking us or picking anybody really, but is there something in the works that we're, God forbid, pun intended, leading up to, or is this, if there's an older guy out here that's connected, that's a god link too, then maybe this is something that's just been happening and it's just kept under the radar, and more normal than we thought it was. I don't know. It feels weird to say that it's normal, but I mean, like mine's been the most clear because Tithonus just straight up talked to me and does every time I do something he doesn't like. So like that's been fairly clear. Maggie over here got at least a somewhat conversation or a scolding or lecture. I'm not sure what it turned out to be with.
Oh, it was, he just wanted to let me know that, he was bored. That's about it. Like he's over here having fun. It's all good in the hood.
Yeah. And Emily really hasn't gotten very much. So
Like,
She just stopped it.
I
She just
can
stopped a mugging
discern-
like a true hero.
Yeah, like I mean, I could guess based on like imagery and like the ring and the powers whenever we deified, but I haven't talked to her yet, so I won't make assumptions.
You're gonna be crazy.
some of the
Crazy
things
cat.
we're encountering are crazy. What would be more
Yeah.
crazy?
I mean, imagine that we go talk to this Godlink, and maybe he knows something about our individual powers. Maybe other people have had the same powers or similar powers that we've had, and it's just passed down in tradition, like conversationally, from one Godlink to the next. Like, what if he is the old master? Like, I'm gonna call him Roshi. When we meet him, I'm gonna call him Roshi, guys. He's the old hermit. I mean, realistically, that's it. He's living like Roshi. What happens? But what happens if he can teach us how to properly use our powers, and then he can also explain, like, why are the gods giving us powers of all people? Like, why us?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get your hopes up just because. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but if he's been in the game for a while and he's an older guy and suddenly he's going to come in and we're going to try to treat him like a mentor or a like an authority on what we're going through. I mean, how qualified is he to talk about this if he's sitting up, holed up in a bunker or a cabin or whatever? I don't know. It just feels weird to like put that much on somebody and us to, I don't want to get I don't want to get our expectations too high, but I also don't want to like throw a bunch of trust at some dude living in the woods that we heard about from an old man who got his antique shop bombarded by thugs that we had to dispatch. So he could just as easily be like some dude that's been, isolated intentionally by everybody else out there. But how close are we?
You can be there if you'd like to be there.
Are we there
I'm
yet?
letting you all. Yeah, sure. So you've been driving for a few hours now. You drove through a small town, and the address seems to be just a couple miles out. And you come up on this. It's one of those smaller farmhouses where like this guy doesn't have a huge field. Like he has a tiny barn that he probably just it's a glorified shed at this point, and he just has a small house to himself. And as you drive up, you find a man outside chopping wood. And what you find immediately impressive about this feat is that he's doing so with only one arm. Uh, because the man is well built, and his apparent age implies he should be far from the retirement that you were told he was asking for. And when you approach him, you can clearly see a pair of dog tags hanging around his neck and several scars littering his shirtless, ripped body. But the most prominent feature is easily the Nordic tattoo circling his right bicep just before where his right arm stops, which is just right above the elbow. It's blonde. He's got really short, buzzed blonde hair, nice blue eyes. By all means, this man looks like he should be running marathons for fun, not saying I want to retire.
You don't call him Roshi.
I wasn't. Thor.
call him Thor either. Regardless of how accurate it may or may not be, I feel like we should not just be calling people probably anything. We'll walk up and nicely ask him. I don't. What are we gonna ask him? I guess we can ask him about.
I open the door and yell hello.
He looks at you all. He initially just clearly decided to ignore you all driving up on his driveway, but after you say hello, he takes the axe in his left hand and slams it down into the stump where he'd been cutting wood on, and just gives a simple wave before, rather impressively, scooping up several of the small logs that he had been cutting and starts to just walk inside with them, not saying a word.
Are we supposed to? I guess. All right.
Let's follow him.
Let's go
Okay.
pick up some more logs and help him carry them in.
All right. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. I was gonna say we'll give him a hand, but that's.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah. Let's. Yeah. We'll. we'll each grab a couple.
Let's
logs.
assist. Let's assist this gentleman.
Okay.
This gentle Thor.
Yeah, we'll give him some help.
Okay, so you all pick up some of the logs and are you gonna go inside? Or are you gonna take them in, follow him in?
At least take him up. Yeah, take him up to the door, like to the door frame, and be like, hey, thought maybe you could use some help. We actually got sent your way by a nice gentleman that runs the Silver Armadillo Antiques a few towns over, and he said that you might be able to help us answer a few questions if you'd at all be okay with sitting down and talking to us, or we can lend you some help around here in exchange for some information if that's something that you're okay with, sir.
All right. So, in response, he doesn't. He's dropping down the logs, and he doesn't even bother turning around to face you all, as he says, "Don't need the help. Didn't need the help then either, and I don't know what help I could give. So, you're welcome to just leave if you want."
Sir, I have a very important question for you.
He stands up straight and lets out a long sigh. All right, what is it?
Do you believe in the gods?
That's a good question. That was good. Oh, he stops for a second, thinks about it, and then turns to you all and goes, I thought that was profound, but then I remembered who sent you all, and obviously you clearly know what's going on already, so what? Why are you bothering?
Fair enough. I guess can I roll my sleeve up or something and show the cicada changer on my wrist as I introduce myself, and so it's like,
yeah.
My name's Connor Thorne. This is my buddy Magnus and my friend Emily. We are we're really just university students that kind of got roped into all of this. We really still don't know a lot of what's going on. We've tried talking to the couple people we've run into that have had some information. We're getting, grasps at straws. We're grasping at straws as we're going through this. We drove all the way out from Kansas City out here, and we've just encountered one crazy thing after another. And the more we hang around and the more we try to investigate this, the more it feels like more damage we're doing, and we're just trying to even get a grip on where to go next and what's going on and why this is happening to us in particular, but really even just what's happening beyond I know that for some reason I've been picked by Tithonus to do something to get some kind of revenge on his behalf from some 10,000 year plus slight against him from the other gods, and I don't know what to do with that information. And I don't think Magnus or Emily know what to do with the information that they've gotten. And we're just trying to figure out if we're supposed to be doing something. Maybe you can help. Maybe not. Maybe we wasted our time.
He takes he takes a long pause. At first seeming very annoyed as he has this whole time. But then his face softens a little bit, and he responds with, "Well, I ain't got much for you outside of my own stories, but at least be grateful. At least be grateful that you can take those ones off. All that I know is, from my experience, all the gods are pretty selfish pricks and are just gonna use you for whatever they want to do. And sure, it's a hell of a kick when you're in the action, but God, it gets annoying when those, I don't even know what they call themselves anymore, keep coming and asking you to help and do all this. I don't give two shits about all the drama that they've got going on. I just want to live my life here, and if telling you the story to get you all out of here will do the trick, then fine." He walks over to his own lazy boy chair and just kind of plops down in it and motions for you all to, sorry, wrong arm, motions for you all to sit on the couch or take a seat wherever in his living room. Would you like to sit? I feel like that's a pointless question, but
Yeah,
I
I think we're all going to sit down and listen to what the scary one-armed man has to say.
Let's think. How I could do this in character and make it longer, or I could give you the short version out of character. I think this is more a question of just like, how long do you just want to be here?
What do you guys think? I don't care.
I mean, is this the difference between it being a 4-hour session and a 6-hour session?
This is the difference between me desperately trying to figure out what exactly he'd say and doing it in that voice and getting over the fact that I need to do it in that voice and just telling you. So
Narrate it.
okay.
Yeah, you can just tell the story. We'll imagine what he's saying.
Yes, yeah. So he introduces himself as Tyler, and he said that he tells you the story of how when he was serving in Iraq a few years prior, his squad got hit by what he thought at the time was an IED, and wiped the rest of them out and took his arm and left him with all the scars that you see. And in his dazed state after being blown up, he saw a group of some kind of insurgents coming towards him when there was this bright light, and he thought he was done for, but the voice, he knew it was some kind of holy, but not the kind that they teach you in church. And this voice introduced himself as Tyr, and offered him the strength to get out of there alive. And as any desperate person would, after being blown up in the middle of the desert, takes the deal, transforms, deals with whoever was coming for him, didn't even take a moment to see what they look like. He was just in an adrenaline rush of rage and blood, and just got the hell out of Dodge, and hasn't bothered to try and relive that experience since, by what you all know as deifying, but that is his story.
Well, shit, Tyler, it's a hell of a story compared to what we're going through. So did you just get back from your tour and just decide to lay low here? Have you pretty much been able to just sit back and at least get some peace and quiet out here, or has any of that stuff followed you around? We can't go one town over to go to a damn antique shop without dealing with more blowback from one thing or the other, and these freaking Hornet Wasp looking trooper guys, these stormtrooper motherfuckers, keep coming after us, and we don't really know, where to go next, and or what we're doing, if they're coming to us or if we're just going to the same places. But
he
that's where we're at.
He pretty much was just nodding along as if waiting to respond until you mentioned the wasp looking motherfuckers, as you put it. At which point he kind of paused and looked at you, waited for you to finish, but then said, "What kind of armor were they wearing? How did you describe them?"
It looks like military SWAT gear, but it's obviously not traditional military gear, and they've got full helmets on that look like a gas mask. That's like a wasp or a hornet or something, and a couple of them have had powers, not quite like ours, but something close to it. I mean, they can put up a fight against us, and that takes a little bit. And there's almost always another godlink with them.
Mm-hmm.
We've already had to deal with two, and they're not the same. They're all different, but every time we encounter one of those guys, we're always dealing with two or three of the Wasp guys too.
His face grows cold for a second as it's almost like something has dawned on him and has come back to him. And he says, "Those were the fuckers who took out my men." And he just kind of sits there in silence for a second, realizing that whatever happened then, he didn't know it, but is connected to whatever you all are dealing with. But he tries to just brush it off for the time being, and explains that as obnoxious as the other people who have been bothering him have been, whatever they were doing by checking in on him so constantly has kept whatever evil godlinks and those wasp troopers from bothering him anymore ever since then. So things have mainly been quiet. He just wish it was a little bit quieter. And before the next big event, I'm sorry, I really can't go to the bed.
No, you're good.
So I will be right back, and then we'll have fun. Who knows what could happen? It's almost like it's D&D and something big has to happen. All right, I'll be right back.
All right. I feel bad for pestering the nice veteran and bringing up old wounds. Thank you for not calling him Roshi.
Roshi, come back. Also, I got to watch Shang-Chi last night.
Yeah, you like it?
Last night or the night before? Yes. It's so far my favorite of the, like, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. It just felt like a movie that happened to be in the Marvel universe, if that makes sense. So it was nice.
It might be
And
one of
Loki.
my like top 5 now.
Oh, it's. I mean, the nice thing is it
Or it's
felt
definitely part
different.
of my top 5.
It felt different than any of the other like newer Marvel movies. It didn't feel like it was trying. I mean, it still definitely followed the Marvel formula, but it didn't feel like it was trying to follow the Marvel formula. And Morris slash Trevor is like the best pairing of any comedic side duo ever. Oh my God, what is that? Oh, you can see him. Oh, you can see him. By Jove, I'm not crazy. This is happiness. This pure and adulterated, like drug brain addled happiness. With Mr. Stephen Hendricks.
Hello.
Returns.
Hello.
You guys didn't say anything too bad while I was gone, right?
No, we were just talking about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh, that movie's awesome.
Right? It was,
I like
like I
that.
said, it's my favorite, newer Marvel movie.
That was valid, yeah.
And I mean, Cameron also knows my complaints about Endgame and Infinity War. Mainly Endgame. I watched it 3 times in theaters.
You
So it's not
gave
like
them
I-
enough money to complain about it.
Yeah.
I'm legally required. I haven't watched, but that's the thing. I haven't watched it since, and I have no desire to watch it ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I
It
could
was
watch Shang-Chi probably another like 4 or 5 times and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, Endgame just felt like moments instead of like a movie.
The hard part for me watching Shang-Chi though is that according to the shirt that he's wearing about when he graduated, that man is supposed to be younger than me. I was like, no. Like, it was an extra version of like the 30-year-old in high school where I was like, I'm an adult and I'm still like, that man is not a year or two younger than me. That man is 35.
Like they were born in '96, and I went, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
My wife was born in '96.
I was gonna say that
Exactly.
it would make it my wife's age too, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Like, even
How old-
in the 2 years from now, I was like, no. I hope I don't look 30 2 years from now when I'm 26. That'll be
Like, he
not
should have
great.
been. I would have, if they had said like he was, 27, 28, a little bit more
Sure.
believable.
Sure.
Simu is
32.
32.
Yeah.
32.
So.
Like, that's believable enough, but not friggin' 24. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
they're going to be doing a remake of, they're going to be doing a remake of Lord of the Rings, and they're going to recast Aragorn with the same guy. It's going to be Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, and you're going to be like, I think this works, but I'm not upset with it. It just logically doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. So we've just finished bugging this old, or older veteran.
Oh, he's like 30. That's why I was like so happy that you guys were like this old ancient master. I was like, this guy's like 30. He just wants to retire because he doesn't want to deal with it. Like, you played so well into that. I was so excited. It's like, oh my god, that was perfect. Yeah, let's go fight an old man. I'm like, it's just a dude.
Some guy
Yeah.
named
So-
Tyler. Oh, wait a second. You said his name was Tyler.
Yeah.
Did you take that name from Tyler Durden?
No. I took it from one of my own stories because I have trouble coming up with names, so I came up with a few and I just keep using them. You'll meet other characters that also share names with other characters I've written. But yeah, how are we gonna transition back into this? He looks up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Suddenly he shoots up out of his chair, and looks out the window, and without saying a word starts to stomp towards the front door. And as you all, I'd assume you'd probably be confused and also look out the window. Just a guess. You see 4 men getting out of an SUV just outside. 3 of them in the W.A.S.P attire that you all were discussing. And the 4th one
Of course they are.
is... Wait, we've already had 2 bald men. This guy has hair this time. Why not? This one has hair this time. A 4th man, with he's wearing all black. He's wearing like tactical attire that's not a full suit. You know, like when a detective is on the scene, they've got like a bulletproof vest on, and that's pretty much it. He's got like that kind of level going. And he has... How long? He's... You know, to make up for the 2 bald men, it's about Magnus length hair. But his is more like a black. I was not expecting myself to need to describe this man. And he's got the only other thing that really stands out is that on his hip, he's got what should be like a sword in a sheath, but it's just a hilt with like a bit of a broken blade on it, just sitting on his hip.
Feels very Lord of the Rings-ish.
Yeah. You put me into Lord of the Rings, now I can't stop thinking about it. And as you all are stepping outside, he makes this grand gesture towards you all. It's like, what did I write? Oh, he's like, well, if it isn't the godlink that had single-handedly wiped out a whole squad of W.A.S.P troopers. Oh, and I'd like to thank you 3 for leading me here. Now I can wipe out all 4 of you at once. And without further ado, he takes the hilt from his hip, but holds it in a backhand, as instead of using it for anything a sword should be used for, he just immediately rams it into his left pec, which causes him to deify instantly into a... why don't I open the right tabs ever? Why do I do this to myself? There we go. How did I describe him? Into a set of full black armor, with patches of fur lining the shoulders and covering his forearms and legs. More like the shins, not the full legs. The helmet has the appearance of a wolf head with the faceplate being inside of the jaws. And his hands and feet clearly have like claws coming off of them. He's very bestial in appearance, and the sword hilt is still protruding from his chest. And he just, does a motion to the 3 W.A.S.P troopers to move out on all of you. What are you all gonna do?
So I might as well go ahead and deify.
All right. Do you all want to deify? Is that just okay? Bam. All 3 of you do so, and so does Tyler, in the same moment. And what's interesting about his deification that you noticed, as opposed to the 3 of you, is that I've actually got a whole sequence in my head for this. There's no object that changes. Instead, it's the tattoo on his arm. Almost, it seems to like snap as if it's a chain. And as the armor forms around his body, What does it look like? Oh, where was it? Okay. The armor is very Nordic in style. The chest piece extends down to about his mid-thigh, while the area between the heavy armor is patterned as if it was chainmail. His helmet, very differently from yours and everybody else's you've seen, where it's just like one piece of glass almost. It has two very distinct eye holes and a mouthpiece, and a mouth plate. And he's got a sick-ass cape. He's got a long cape going. And different runes line the armor. But the most prominent piece is that you watch the tattoo that I said almost broke as if it were a chain, reform his right arm, but it, like, entirely out of chains. Just, like, twisted up and bundled up chains. And as he just stomps down the steps and grabs the axe that he had left in the stump, it transforms into a very fancy-looking Nordic battle axe. And despite being the size and apparent weight of a two-handed axe, he just easily holds it in his left hand. And he just says, "Leave the big one to me," and just marches off towards the Wolfman. As the Wasp troopers are moving up on you three, what would you like to do? Would you like to roll to see who goes first, or are you just gonna be polite and pick?
Anyone want to make the first move?
I mean, I feel like my guy. I feel like I'm gonna make the first move.
Okay.
Okay,
Usually,
Alright.
that's a Magnus thing to do.
the Magnus thing to do. It's the
By the way,
it's the
I
Magnus
forgot
way.
to mention, you all are level 2 now, so you can use the first and second abilities in your list. So,
Which
there
is
you
a
go.
stat increase.
oh, is it? Oh yeah, you guys got a stat increase. Sorry, we should have done that last time. Let's ignore that for this time, and for the next one, you'll all be level 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like, all right, what stats are you all going to increase today? Right before this important fight.
Fair enough.
So
Plus,
I'm gonna
like, you got tier going, so you don't
Yeah.
need
We
it.
got a big gun for now.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Move, Maggie.
launch myself at the nearest wasp moron.
All right. Wasp. As you launch yourself towards Wasp Trooper number 1, I assume you are going to do what we refer to as a normal attack.
I'm going to do a normal attack, and since I don't have any offerings, I can't
Correct.
actually attack with any of my weapons.
Correct.
Again, shield is always automatically equipped when I transform, but
Yes.
so I'm basically about to backhand this wasp.
Yeah.
I'm about to backhand this wasp trooper with a friggin' shield to the face.
Yes. It's an aesthetic weapon attack, but not a statistical one, as we say.
Yeah, sure.
He just got brace slapped.
So as you, I'm gonna let you look really cool as you like jump up and then jump off of the banister of the porch and jump down, and simultaneously as you're falling, bitch slap the first Wasp trooper, or attempt to. I would like you to make your attack roll for me.
2d20 plus 2. 9.
I know you meant 2d6, but you said 2d20, and I was thinking, if you rolled 2d20 and only rolled a 9, that would be so sad.
2d6. 9.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go. Yes. You do land not on top, but like just in front of him as you slap him away, and he takes the brunt of your shield to the face, taking a damage and backing up. He doesn't get a chance to fire, but he does start to raise his weapon towards you. As we come, well, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm fine with what I've said. as we now come to who would like to go next.
I would like to hit something.
All right.
Three wasp.
Yes.
Tubes.
Yes.
Are they all just kind of fanning out and coming up while Tyler handles the big guy?
Yeah. They're all marching towards you three as he
Okay.
as the two of them are about to go at it.
Okay, I'm gonna go after one of the other two that hasn't been hit yet.
All right.
With a normal attack.
Right.
I think that's just an 8.
That'll do it. So as you not probably as reckless as Magnus, jump down the stairs instead of off of a banister. You're quick to get in front of one of the wasp troopers, and before he does, he is able to take a shot, as it just kind of taps your shoulder, but you use that momentum to swing your bow and get a nice hit in on his stupid face.
Stupid face.
Yeah. So he takes a damage, but you also take 1 damage.
Okay.
I have a feeling that you will outlive him, though.
Obvious.
Just statistically. All right, Connor.
All right. Yeah, I'm also going to go in for a normal attack on the last one. Well, I guess it'll depend on my roll as to whether or not I
Yes.
can do what I want to do. But okay, that's not a good sign so far. That's nope. Okay, we're gonna have a replay of last time, I guess. So that's yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, that's not that doesn't hit.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so.
So as you run down the stairs and make a very telegraphed swing at the wasp trooper, he easily steps back and just hits you in the head with the butt of his rifle, and kind of knocks you back a bit as you take 1 damage and just completely whiff your attack. Meanwhile, you see Tyler going at it with this other godlink. I guess you still don't know the title of them, so I won't spoil it for the audience.
Big wolf, big wolf.
The big wolf man, yeah, the big bad wolf. That's what we'll call him for now. The big bad wolf. They start to go at it as he's swinging the axe, and the wolf is deftly dodging the attacks. You do watch it. You know what? Screw it. I'll roll for them. Why not? This is fun, right? He's gonna be very strong. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Tyler easily lands a big hit on the big bad wolf. And shortly after, like they're trading blows. Some look harder than others. But we're gonna do that. All right. So damage is being done. You guys just aren't there yet. All right. So we're gonna swing back to Magnus. It is your turn.
I notice that Emily got shot,
Mhm.
and so I grab my guy and chuck him at her guy.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Attack roll.
I guess he's an improvised weapon in this case.
Yes.
So I guess you can say a weapon attack.
Motherfucker.
A weapon attack, but I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be difficult to make fully what you want happen. So hope you roll high, but go ahead and go for it.
10.
Oh, shit. That's the bare minimum you needed for this, so good job. Um, as you take a swing into your Wasp Trooper's gut, so he bends over for a second, so you can take that opportunity to grab him and chuck him over at the other guy. He certainly takes a damage, but I'm actually going to ask you to make just a strength check to see how close you are to landing this hit.
2d6 for strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. $12.
God. All right.
Way out of it.
Perfect throw. As it immediately the Wasp Trooper focusing on M does not see at all the body of his compatriot his comrade flying towards him. As one body crashes into the other and the two of them instantly are on the floor. Him also taking some damage from the full brunt of a probably 220-pound man with tactical gear on, but hitting him probably in the head with that roll. And the two are now on the floor. Like,
I think that makes up for my crap roll.
yeah, he did enough damage for his own turn and your turn. So, oh my god. Emily, there are two Wasp Troopers on the ground in front of you. What would you like to do?
So they're both on the ground, like in
Yeah.
dog pile?
Yeah. They're trying to get up now.
I don't know. I don't want to let them get up. I can only use normal attacks at this rate, right?
You could use a weapon attack, or yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Whichever one's on top trying to get up, I'm gonna make sure he doesn't. I'm gonna do a weapon attack.
All right. Well, okay. To be fair, you could do a normal attack, and it will do the same amount of damage.
Okay, it's the same.
Or
amount.
yeah,
And I was
basically.
smacking with my bow the first time, so I'm just gonna do that again with my normal.
All right. So yeah, just a normal attack. Cool.
I got a 7.
That'll do it. Considering he's already prone and on the ground, you just whap him on the back of the head. As that is one Wasp Trooper down. Conveniently, because this is how logic would dictate it be, it was the guy on top that you've now knocked unconscious, so the poor other dude is just now trapped trying to push this other guy off of him, now that he's been knocked unconscious and back down on top of him. Meanwhile, Connor...
I got this one this time.
You got this one. I believe in you.
That was a warm-up. That was like pointing at the other Wasp Troopers, like, I just wanted you to be able to see what the other guy was going to do.
That's all he says.
Right.
I was going easy on you. My friends are crazy. They'll kill you. So I'm just going to do another normal attack because that's all I can do.
All right.
Okay. Okay, 7.
Just made it. As this time you do land a hit on him. You can't tell if you landed the hit or if he let you because he felt bad. As he doesn't even bother with the gun this time. He just like kicks you back as you take another point of damage, taking a kick straight to the stomach. Meanwhile, the two... Whoa! Man, he is rolling very well. Looking over at Tyler and the big bad wolf, it is still insanely impressive what is going on over there. These two, you don't know if it's skill, experience, or just the strength of the gods that they are linked to, but like, you're having a fight and they're having a fight, right? That looks like some anime shit, and you guys are like...
I got to throw a human being.
You did get to throw a human being. Fair enough. You know what? That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You're in a kung fu movie, and they're like in an anime. Like, you just see, like, sparks flying off as, like, the claws are hitting the chains and the axe, and, like, Tyler's just knocking this dude away really easily, swinging the axe. It's crazy over there. But you all still have 2 W.A.S.P troopers. Magnus, it is your turn. There's one underneath an unconscious W.A.S.P trooper, and then there's the one that Connor is dealing with.
Dealing with is good on its way.
Yeah,
see that
is being dealt with. Yeah.
I see that Connor is being dealt with, so I rush over to help Connor.
All right. As you charge over, what are you gonna do? What kind of...
You know, it seems to be tradition now. I also now have to do a flying kick.
All right, fair enough. As you take a jump and do the kick, hit me with that roll.
8.
That'll do it. You do land the blow, but unlike when you threw the other man, this one does notice your body flying towards him. And so you just he turns towards you, and you just kind of clip one shoulder. And as you then pretty much just land on the ground, because it's hard to land after a flying kick of that speed, he takes a pot shot down at you, hitting you in the chest, obviously not going through, because magical armors, but it does hurt, you know, like a paintball with a sweatshirt on. It's still gonna hurt. Not gonna kill you, but... So you take your 1 damage. Aw.
You saw nothing.
So you take 1 damage, but you also land your 1 damage. Emily, you are up. There is a struggling man underneath an unconscious man. Actually, he's probably got the other guy off of him now and is starting to get up.
I don't know. I don't want him to get up. That doesn't seem good. I want to step on him. I don't know. Let me see here. Hold on. I'm just gonna keep whacking him in the head. That seems to be a good way to go. That's a
Yeah.
trick. Okay. I got a 7. So, wait, he's getting up. Yeah, I don't want.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. As he's getting up, you just bop him on the head, and he is also out cold. Landing on top of the other guy that he had just pushed off of him. So they're still awkwardly in this pile of unconscious W.A.S.P trooper.
Cuddle, puddle.
Aw, good for them. You know, if you're gonna go to sleep in the middle of a field outside of a strange man's house, you might as well be on top of your bros, you know?
Just guys being dudes.
Exactly. Just comas with the boy. Connor, you're up. Your cat would like what you are eating.
So the guy that was coming after me got hit once and kind of knocked back by
Yes.
Magnus's flying rider kick.
Yes.
All right, so let's see what I'm even capable of here. Oh, that's a good sign. Shoot. Hey. So that's 8.
All right. Yep, that'll do it. But
Okay. I'm just gonna can I try to tackle the guy and put him in a chokehold?
yeah, that'll
I
do
don't
for
know
how
whether
much health
for
he had
Magnus
left.
to get a finishing hit or just
Yeah.
to hold him.
Well, as you run over and like get behind him and start to do the chokehold as if to hold him in place. He just instantly passes out. This man has small lungs. You know, he just he's out cold.
He's a smoker, so it just didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Capacity.
Meanwhile, as you guys look over just before joining him, actually, yeah, that's still that. Their fight is still going on. Tyler seems to start to be hitting more of a standstill than in Tyler's favor, as it had seemed before. And the big bad wolf, as he does this rather sick move where he like jumps onto and then like kicks off of doing a backflip off of Tyler, lands on his two legs with complete ease, and seeing you three having taken out his backup, just goes, well, I guess I'll have to do this now. And he grabs the hilt that is in his chest, and as he pulls it out, it seems like this stream of blood comes with it and sprays out before forming into the rest of the sword, as you would imagine it would have been in its full glory, as he now is brandishing this blood sword, and looks at you all ready to... No energy lost, seemingly, ready to take on all four of you at once. And Tyler took his turn, so we are back at Magnus.
Well, I finally get to roll for a weapon.
Yes! Alright. Let me...
Did we decide how we were going to do this?
We did.
What weapon you get?
I believe it was just a D8? Because there are 8 of them? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's 6 of them. Alright.
D6.
Yeah.
D6.
But, as you offer your offering,
Oh God, no.
it starts to glow and doesn't change. You are stuck with your shield for now. Yeah.
All right.
But that is a passive action, so you are welcome to make an attack of some sort.
I'm going to try to tackle the big bad wolf.
All right. Are you trying to deal damage, or are you trying to hinder him?
Hinder.
All right. So then just do a strength check. Don't do an attack.
7.
Yeah. As you run at him and tackle him, you do get a hold of him, and you are holding on to him, but it seems like it's not really bothering him that much, as he doesn't even use the sword. He just takes his clawed left hand and just digs it into your back, dealing you 1 damage. But you are holding him. He is mildly hindered. And so then Emily, you are up.
Quick question. I don't think I understand how the offerings work.
Yeah,
Have them.
basically just think of them as a currency. So you did 3 normal attacks, so you got 3 offerings, and then you can spend those to do other things.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I haven't used one yet.
No, not yet.
Can I activate my black feathers? It says offering ranks 1.
Not yet. After this session, you will be able to.
Okay.
You have not unlocked that one yet.
Gotcha.
But with what you have, you could do a weapon attack or a special attack.
Okay. So since said he was partially hindered.
He is partially hindered at the moment, yeah.
What if I go for his legs and try and help Connor get like a really good hit in on him?
Okay, yeah.
Do that?
Yeah.
I just like launch myself at his legs, you know?
All right. Then also give me a strength check to.
I will do this. I hope I roll good. I rolled a 10 minus 1, so that's 9.
Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. As you run towards his legs and start to dive, well, I guess being on the ground is enough of a hindrance. You grab onto both of his legs. Again, it doesn't seem like he's that worried about what's happening, having the two of you grab onto him. But it is clear that if he were to try and move around, it would be difficult at this point, now that both of you were hanging onto him pretty tightly. Which brings us to Connor. Don't roll a 3.
Yeah. So I've gotten two hits in, so I have 2 offerings.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I can do a special attack.
You can.
With M and Magnus holding on to this guy, I figure now's the time to go for gold.
10?
Yeah.
Damn, yep, that'll do it. I was gonna give you advantage, but you don't need it. All right. So as the two of them grab onto him and you run up, aiming right where the hole was from where the crack in his armor that held the hilt before, as your probospiker sticks out and goes straight into his chest. He's not down. He's clearly very, very tough. But you can tell that with all of this together and with your very lucky blow, you did more than you normally would. Actually, no. You know what? For the sake of making you look super cool and for what's going to happen next, you do a lot of damage. You did an incredible amount of damage from all of your teamwork together. I'm rewarding you all for being so cool and awesome. As Connor, as you stab into him, though the full weight of you coming down breaks Magnus and Emily's grasps on him as you and the big bad wolf kind of go tumbling. But while you still kind of just are face down on the ground after this, not like hindered or anything, but that's just how you land. He's still, despite being exhausted and you doing a lot of damage to him, lands in the sick 3-point pose. But his sick pose does not last for long, as you hear Tyler yell to you all. He wouldn't have a cool catchphrase. He would just go, "End it!" And you watch as he sticks out his right hand, and as he does so, all the chains start to unwind and shoot out, wrapping themselves around the big bad wolf and holding him completely still, completely unable to move. And as the big bad wolf starts to scream all sorts of obscenities and struggle against the chains to absolutely zero avail, Magnus, it's your turn. It looks as if this is the kind of moment to end the fight, as it were.
Okay, well then I'm gonna use finishing move.
Do it.
Gotta scroll up because I gotta get the right thingy. Because finishing move is a dexterity. All right, I roll for finishing move.
Oh, is it Dex? Oh, it can be either. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for you it's variable, so it's strength or Dex.
well then I'm gonna choose strength. I will always choose.
Yes. Oh wait, it's based on your weapon. I think in your case, which is strength right now. So, so go ahead.
Okay. All right. 10.
Hell yes. Um, how do you want to do it? I'm gonna let you describe it with your shield as you charge um at the captive wolf.
So I run up,
Mm-hmm.
shield in my hand. I pull back for the biggest haymaker that anyone has seen since Muhammad Ali threw a punch, and I come throwing my whole body behind and just rock him in the face. And he catches it with both my fist and the edge of the shield, like to his wolfy styled face. Like, simple, brutal, effective.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Magnus style. You pull back, you land that punch, and as you do so, you watch as all the chains magically shatter as this guy goes flying back, um, releasing him and just causing him to fly back several feet and tumble to the ground completely out of it. As the armor disappears and the hilt is left on the ground next to where you were, next to where you hit him. Um, no more blood, just a broken
Do I get to
blade.
quip? Do I get to
Oh
quip?
yeah,
Like,
quip away, please do.
yes. Yes. Okay, sorry. I didn't think about this one until literally I thought about that, but I guess he was just the boy who cried wolf.
That is better than what I had thought of. So proud of you for not taking the kind of dark route that I had thought. All right, yeah, he is completely out of it. And as you all undeify, deny, I don't, I couldn't think of anything clever there.
Another word for going back, I guess.
Yeah. As you all undeify, and Tyler does as well. What do you all say to him, or do, or think, or believe?
Um, so they said that they were coming here. Well, first of all, Tyler, I'm so sorry that we led all this trouble to you. Because it sounds like it's our fault. Because it sounds like they're following us, which we kind of thought we knew but weren't sure about. Will do you? We can make a call to Magnus's family, and they can come and try to clean this mess up, and take care of that a little bit. They're with the deicides. They're probably the folks who have been coming and checking up on you and keeping this kind of shit away to begin with. So we can try and help you out at least that much. But yeah, like we should probably get the hell out of here before more trouble comes your way.
His face is stone cold as he just replies with simply, "I think it's best if you all just go." And as he turns around and starts to walk away, he doesn't fully look back, but you can see his head turn a little bit as he just offers one last, "But stay safe out there." And he goes inside, shuts the door, and clearly deciding to deal with the 4 unconscious men on his lawn later.
All right. Well, that was a good fight. No one died on our side.
Well, the good guys died.
No one important died.
Can we check over the bodies or vehicle that these fellas rolled up in and see if there's anything of note?
Sure, go ahead. Give me investigation.
Investigation. I'm gonna roll for investigation to check out their vehicle.
Okay.
Their truck or Jeep or whatever the hell they rolled up on.
All right.
Let me go back to my normal.
What about the big guy? Can we see if he had anything cool on him?
Yes, you can. If you would like to do your own investigation.
I got a 10.
10? Damn, alright. Y'all are rolling great today.
I only got 5. So
Connor's not rolling great today. Never mind. I've lied.
Great.
The hero is it's named after you, and
The
you just
underdog.
can't. Yeah.
Indeed.
I guess it's It's easier to start with the bad roll in this case. You don't find a lot in the car. It is clear that whoever these people are, they don't even want their organization to be tracking anybody because it is clearly that secretive. It's all the this is the if you went and bought a car, this is the bare minimum amenities that you would get. Like there is no GPS, it's just like a radio and air conditioning. There's no fancy tech in it or anything like that. Just some like containers for where they probably put or cases for where they put their rifles at night or whatever, etc. You know, an empty Burger King bag that somebody didn't throw away.
There's no like logos on any of the rifle cases or like a company name or any more of those weird business cards or anything in the car.
Not that you can find now.
Okay.
It might have been if you gotten a 6.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what M finds on the bodies then, I guess.
Yeah. M, as you look over the body of what was the big bad wolf with your 10, you actually do find another of the business cards. This one with a different set of digits. It's I think it's safe to say each card only has 5 digits. And he also has another of the same kind of burner phone with the battery taken out. And he also has a pack of cigarettes. And I'm trying to think of something funny. I just can't think of. Yeah. This guy's boring. He doesn't have anything interesting. He talked the most, and yet you search his body, and it's nothing fun. But
Is his artifact still around?
For the sake of letting you all figure out what it is, it doesn't seem to be on his body at the moment. I may or may not have said where it is earlier, or where it was left.
Sword.
Yes, it's.
Yeah.
So there's nothing clearly on his body, but.
Okay. Is his blood sword hilt thing still floating around, or is it?
Yeah. When he was, when you hit him, Connor, he dropped it. The blood dissipated, and it's just a Nordic style sword, but the blade is almost entirely broken off, so there's just like a little bit on the hilt. Enough for him to stab into himself, but not much else.
Aggie, did you want to check out anything else, or did you have anything that you wanted to dig into before we leave this kind gentleman alone, and maybe we can call your folks and see if they can check in on him and make sure these guys don't come back, at least to his spot.
No, I'm okay. I'm just hungry. That was a tough fight. Tyler didn't offer us any food. I'm not happy about that. Tyler, why wouldn't you offer us any food?
I'm sorry. He didn't seem like the stop and stay for dinner kind of guy. Not this visit. Maybe we come back another time and he's with better news or something.
He better.
Yeah. W.A.S.P troopers, I assume it's all the same generic nonsense, and there's no.
Yeah, it's guns.
Yeah.
None of them had the
Identification or
booster
anything
that you
like that.
saw in no ID. None of the booster that you saw in Egypt.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, these guys clearly thought he can handle it, and then there were 4 of them. So,
Okay. Well, I don't think we need to take anything else. I'm not comfortable with taking like their rifles or anything like that. I guess we could like break them, but I feel like Tyler's probably going to deal with all of that. Do you guys think we should probably take the broken sword that, when plunged into somebody's chest, turns them into a giant werewolf thing?
I think that would be dope. I mean,
Yeah.
smart idea. That would definitely be a smart idea.
You're canid enough. We don't need anything else to make you fuzzy again. Okay. Well, Tyler already went inside, right? He ducked out.
yeah, he's inside.
All right. 5 digits on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Does it match up at all with the other card? Is there any?
Not in any way that makes it seem like it's like, oh, there is a 2 in the 3rd place, but there is like that's probably just happenstance.
Gotcha.
If anything, might not be, but who knows? Like it's,
yeah.
But everything else is just different, and it.
Okay. Well, I guess our next plan of attack is we can do what we were going to do, and we can head further east towards the museum to investigate the sword that we have. We don't know what it does, or where it's from. That's probably it. We should probably leave. I was going to say we could go ask Tyler some more questions, but we should probably leave him alone. He's had a big day.
He's had a big day. It's okay.
Yeah, as you think about this, though, because I'd assume that you all are smart enough to have done this and set up a Google alert on your phones for any museum theft stories that show up.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you all are smart enough to have done that. As you all consider going to the Civil War Museum, you also get a message on your phones, and that this one's bizarre. You're not sure how much it could really mean, but there's been a odd theft or robbery in Urbana, Ohio, that claims to be Johnny Appleseed's satchel.
Great. You guys want to go get some cider?
Yes. I think trying to figure out who Johnny Appleseed really was is the true crux of why we became godlings.
I don't know if that's quite how this is going to pan out, but might be a little bit more.
I mean, he was a real guy, actually. I found that out. He was a real dude.
Apples to grow apples for cider.
There's a lot of Johnny Appleseed museums. It took me a while to figure out which one would have actually been reasonably close enough to where you were supposed to be in Pennsylvania. I was like, oh, Massachusetts, it'll take like 2 days to... No, trying to...
Hey, Ohio's cow country, so...
It is.
Maybe Em or I'll have to drive, but I think we'll be okay. We can make that work. It might be a little more important for us to head somewhere that's actively got something going on instead of going to the Civil War Museum. We can hit up another Civil War Museum if we need to figure out the sword, or we can, if we're heading to Ohio, God knows what's going to happen when we get there, but we may be able to head back to KC and hit up the university and dig up some sources there even, you never know. So let's hit the road and head that way. We'll grab a motel along the way. It's a day trip or something, so I'm cool with that.
I am okay with that, and it is a good place to end the session.
Exactly. It's the perfect place to end the session. So there you go. That's that seems to be your next stop, as you all are ready to go explore Urbana, Ohio, and their Johnny Appleseed Museum.
Oh yeah. Nothing more exciting that I
Yeah.
can think of than the middle of Ohio and a Johnny Appleseed museum.
As always, the history lesson at the end. Anybody catch what was going on with your godlinks this week?
It's Tyr and Fenrir.
It was.
It's the Ragnarok battle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And his train arm was Gleipnir. That was the special move name. He wouldn't have shouted it because he's not that kind of guy, but that was the whole thing.
I dig it.
And it worked that I used my shield to beat the crap out of the wolf.
You did? Yes. Perfect. So there you go. That was this week. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank anybody watching for watching. Thank you three for playing.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank you
a
for
pleasure
hosting,
as
as
always. Oh,
Thank you for creating a
pleasure.
great and fun story.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Get excited because this was a fun filler one. But next week we might see some more story stuff. The stuff that none of these three know about. Next week is when the fan fiction part of the story starts. When the GodPunk fan fiction
I'm
starts.
here for it.
Um,
And hey, maybe next week I will actually start my homebrew cider. So that'll be even
Hey,
more. or
it'll be
next- by next
perfect.
month, It'll be even more pertinent. Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll line up perfectly. I got my
um,
mead started now, but I got to start my cider.
yes, do it. Cider for the Johnny Appleseed episode.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you guys. This isn't. I guess everybody else can know this, but Steve, you as well. I'm slowly. I think we've got 2 episodes up on YouTube right now.
Mhm.
I got to post the last one, and then we'll get this one up. And then we're going to start uploading these onto either video or audio or both. I don't quite know how it's going to work yet. I got to mess with some file size stuff, but we're going to start uploading these onto projectlouder.com or projectlouder.net, sorry, which is where my podcast, Big Bad Beetle Bros, is hosted. And I'm going to host some other GodPunk stuff there, some links to buy the comic and some other stuff, like just links to the YouTube in general and to the social media and maybe some blog posts and stuff on there about progress on future installments of the comic or any live action work we end up doing, and more info about the RPG and like rule sets and stuff like that. So check out projectlouder.net. I think it's just projectlouder.net/GodPunk should get you where you need to go, but that'll be coming soon. So probably
Thanks.
by next session for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
So yeah, go look for that if you haven't. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's so many other ways to experience this. You don't have to look at my face. I know you want to look at theirs, but like, and then again, I guess you could just take a Post-it note and put it over my part of the screen. That's probably a much better experience. Yeah. That way, the old man voice, like your immersion isn't ruined by seeing me. You can picture the old man entering the room and doing it. Yeah, thank you. Unless anybody has anything else, any pluggables, I'm gonna hit end stream. Okay, and
End this.